Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Bass Bonsai in the house, down at the workbench, and we're going to talk about two of, in my opinion, the things that you pretty much immediately need to switch out on the PSA daggers, in my opinion. I know you're going to see a lot of people talk about, oh, you just got to get used to it and get it worked in and all that, but we got an unboxing to do. Hopefully one of the solutions is in one of these packages. But as you can see on this one, I already fixed, in my opinion, one of the problems. I switched out the trigger, and probably what is even not necessarily from a safety standpoint, but from ergonomics and just a feel is worse than the trigger, is this magazine release. This thing is hard to push, is small, and it just, quite frankly, I don't like that at all. So I think I've got a couple in here we're going to talk about as we unbox them, but then the triggers is another one. I do not like the stock dagger trigger. The main reason is it's so easy. It really is like basically the dagger, just like the Glock, has a lot of other internal safeties, but as far as something catching on this trigger and squeezing, you know, pulling the trigger back, it's just so easy, in my opinion, just something catches right on the side of that, and it's not really like even having a safety like what almost all your other ones are, have the little blade in the center. Is a lot better system, in my opinion, and it just feels better. This one, everything works too far to the back, in my opinion. So, without further ado, and we'll talk more about that, let's get these open just to see. And pardon the mess, but I'm currently in the process of cleaning up my shadow systems, who, although easily, admittedly, is a better clone of a Glock than the dagger as far as overall just quality, not ergonomics. The actual feel on the frames, these feel so much better in hand. The shadow systems feel good, but they still, in my opinion, feel like a Glock. Like, if you love the Glock feel, you just want like a basically already custom gun, that's probably what a lot of guys like. The shadow systems are fine, but they're very square, blocky feeling. Just pretty much it feels like you're holding a square piece of wood, and you can hold on to it, but it just does not feel, in my opinion, as good as a stock dagger. And yet, if you stipple a dagger, it's like game over with that magwell. Even with this one, even with the hoe grip cut and kind of customed, and with their magwell that it comes with, it just still isn't there. But man, the magazine release, where they've got whether you call that basically just a place to add a little more traction, that feels good. Overall, everything feels good. It's just, in my opinion, the better comfort feel is on the dagger, and they are cheaper and more readily available. In my opinion, you don't have to stipple it, but you definitely, in my opinion, and that's why I ordered a couple to try, and I'm finding which magazine release on the Gen 3 will work for me. The shadow system's kind of cheated. They're more or less based off Gen 4, not Gen 3. But this trigger is awesome, and it's just the trigger shoe. I actually didn't use the trigger bar it came with. I stuck with everything else internal is a PSA, except for the shoe, which was I think it's a copy of a Tyrant Designs. It's just one of those like $35, $40 ones off of eBay. You can find them on Gunbroker too. But anyway, without further ado, let's open package number one. Now, I'm not even sure if they're I ordered two, but I don't know if they just shipped them separately, or I've got something else came in the mail that I'm not sure what it was. And we'll talk about a few others. Oh, I know what this is. I might be able to use this. I might not be able to. I think I know what this is. I think this is my 26. No? Oh, this finally showed up. So this is a $5 tool for the Glock front sight tool. And I think it came all the way from China through AliExpress, so it's like $5. Aluminum, cut out. Let's see. I know I've got one of these laying around. I've got a bunch of parts. Okay, so just the slightest little wiggle. Should be fine for using to tighten that front. And it is a magnetic. So you put that in. Basically very handy little, handy dandy little tool. Took forever to get here. But as long as it doesn't strip out right away. You don't have to usually put those on super tight. Put a little Loctite on the ones that are metal front sight. The plastic ones, you can put like a touch of super glue, or just the plastic will hold the metal. Let's keep going. This should be our magazine releases. Oh boy, I still haven't found my knife. Still searching. You guys seen my knife? Let me know. That is not going to work. Let's get my other knife. I'll tell you what, that works very good. It is Craftsman. Craftsman screwdriver tends to work pretty good for a knife. So there are about as many magazine levers as there are probably triggers, maybe even more. So I went with these right here. So what I'm thinking, and we'll get in here and see. So I ordered a kind of copper one to go with, hopefully it might go with this one well enough. And then a gold one. So I did order two. Use the front door. So hang on, I got noise going on. Wow. I'm trying to do this all in one shot so I don't have to do any other editing. I take it straight from, and this one's coming from my phone because it's easier to do it this way. I can't do a live stream because if I pick up anything that resembles firearm, even though it's totally not able to shoot, YouTube shuts me down on the live stream, so that's why I quit doing those. So anyway, we got all this stuff in, and I won't be able to, also they won't let you monetize a video if you explain how to do it, so I won't go into that, but we are going to take one of these apart enough to see. It should come with, it said it came with silver and black screws in the description, and I'm not seeing both sets. All I see is black. Wait. No, wait. Okay, hang on. I'm sure I didn't miss anything. I see one. Okay, there's one silver. Now this is plastic, in case you guys are wondering. And it was kind of misleading. It was hard to tell. I think they shorted me a screw. There it is. Okay, now it's all there. So in the information as you're reading it, it's hard to tell like which is aluminum, because it's actually cut very well. It almost looks like it could be aluminum in the pictures on eBay. So you basically run this through like you normally would, and then you will put your pick of stainless looking, I guess they are stainless, I'm not sure, or the black ones, and they're plenty long enough to go in, and it should let you basically be able to work a Gen 3 like a Gen 4, or even probably the Gen 5s would work. And that's what I wanted, and this, in my opinion, are some of the better looking ones out there and should perform the best. Now that's supposed to be aluminum. It looks like it is. So, but they're expensive in my opinion. They're like $25, $24.99 or something. You can catch them on sale every great once in a while. So of course I'll probably put, and it never fails, the gold then never matches. Of course the FDE never matches. So I'll probably put the gold one on this one right off the bat just to see. And I won't be able to show you how to do it, but if you are curious, it's real simple. I just took this one out today to tinker with it while I had the Shadow Systems ones out. I can show you the part that's in there. There's this rod, and the one in this one and the Shadow Systems that I have in my hand right here they look like they're made out of a little different material, but they're made the same thickness and basically the same length. Shadow Systems Gen 4 and the Gen 3 in the PSA. But inside there, writing in the Shadow Systems, as you can see, has it on both sides. So therefore, it's the Shadow Systems. You can convert it over ambidextrous. The daggers are only, the way they're cut, they are only for right-handed and operating all of the controls with this thumb or over here, basically. But what you do is inside there, that rod is sitting underneath, and you'll basically pry it up, and it rides over in here. So you basically push and pry out as you go, and it'll pop up. Just pull this out, put the other one in, and you got to push it back in, and then you'll put the screws in. It's a very simple. Once you've done it once or twice, it's like, okay, that's easy to do. And it's pretty much done by, I'm not going to do it, but by sticking something, a longer, maybe even longer screwdriver than this in, just like that little arm I showed you, will pull, and you probably can't see in there. You'll press that way, and it kind of comes out. What I found is this little punch actually works probably the best for me. I put that in there, and just when I get it over that far and put a little tweak on it, it just pops right out. You can also, the lighting is not right, but you can also use your finger, just whatever it takes, you'll see. And there's actual videos out if you want to search a video on exactly how to do that. Go step by step. It's pretty simple. So anyway, stay tuned for further videos, and we'll see how well I like those once I get them in and how well they work. The problem with these are they're a little stiff. And so when I had that one out, I did take my X-Acto and kind of, I don't have an X-Acto knife anymore because I can't find it, but the wood cutter does come with an X-Acto deal, so I had this all rigged up in there, and I trimmed just a touch of material off to make that just move a little easier. So it still sucks, but we're going to get that new release button, whatever you want to call it, in. I guess a guy, technically, if you had a drill bit, you could just without even messing with that, you could put that on that, but that's way too far up. That would have you coming way up too far. But it'll look something like that. The gold on the barrel I have intended for this one, that gold trigger, and this are totally, all three don't match up. But I actually like this one, that more subtle. I'm trying to figure out, and you guys comment below, if you know a way of take like this brighter, shinier gold and how to dull it down. Like, I don't want to take the finish off, but I would like to dull that down. I don't know if light touch or some kind of, acetone, paint thinner. I think it's that this is like anodized aluminum, and it just gives it that shininess. I'd like to tone that down. Get it closer. This isn't the barrel, but it's about the same color as the barrel I do have. And those aren't far off from each other. Wherever I put, I don't know. I got the other upper somewhere around here. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to get this thing back together. I'm trying to decide. I can't decide if I want to just leave it alone or if I want to go ahead and custom stipple the War Poet from Shadow Systems, MR920. The thing is, it's still kind of squared off. I'd like to round it, but if you look through here, there's not really a lot of, like, I can't go too much and try to take the, blockiness of it away without, I think they've already kind of designed this with the thin enough that it doesn't leave you a lot of options to, I could stipple it for sure, smooth this down, stipple a pattern on, but instead of doing that, I would have liked to have almost, in a sense, kind of rounded it. Like, you can tell these daggers already come in the back. like the back on the dagger is totally different than almost any of the other ones. If you can see the contour, like how it's Glocks, the shadow systems, most all your Glock clones are all like just blocking. A lot of time you'll think like, well, the more, the wider in the back, the better. But if it's contoured to fit in there right, it's actually not better to have just a big flat, thing there. This, the way that kind of just sets in there and kind of spreads out across your whole palm of your hand kind of feels better, and in my opinion it's easier on as far as recoil stuff. Like this one, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird. If anything, it feels like down in here is what pushes into, like you can feel I feel that bumping into me more than I do any of this messing with me. I feel like it's spread out all throughout my whole palm. That helps the whether it be a Glock, and if you have just a stock Glock like a 17, I'd get this. If you have a Glock 19, I'd still get this, and I'd cut it down the way I did this one. If you don't want to do any stippling on the frame, you're like, I don't want to chance it, I don't want to spend the money it costs to have it done, I don't want to chance doing it myself, or you're just not ready to do it yourself yet. Get a Hogue grip, or the handle it grips, or the, I forget the other one that's even more popular than the handle it, but here's what I recommend. Just get a Hogue grip. You can actually stipple the grip if you want. It lets you kind of practice stippling. They're 14 to 20 bucks depending on where you track them down at. I picked some of these up as cheap as you go to like a gun show. They're $5. Used one on eBay sometimes. I think this one maybe came from eBay for 10 or 12 bucks. But they come smooth, and some people think that's okay. I think it just makes it a little too slick there in the back. So I just stipple the Hogue grip, and it just gives it even more traction. So anyway, I got to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to get these actually put in this one, and I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put this one in this guy, and you'll see it coming up in future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out, go bass bonsai, get to the range, get to stippling, get to glocking, whatever you want to call it. I'm out.